What do you think?
We're close to something, Jonah. I can feel it. Just this last stretch to the top.
All right. Let's see what's up there.
Rise of the Tomb Raider is a 2015 action-adventure game developed by Crystal Dynamics. Think Horizon Zero Dawn, but with an interesting female lead. In Rise of the Tomb Raider, which, by the way, one would fairly figure is the title of the first game in the series, well, one not named Nolan, Lara seeks the lost city of Kitesh, which is said to contain the key to immortality. Of course, she has to get there before the baddies, or should I say the blondies. Side note, in a recent review, I spoke of starting but not finishing 2 titles. One was an adventure game featuring a dark-haired, pale person shepherding spirits. The other was an adventure game featuring a dark-haired, pale person shepherding spirits.
Why are you the way that you are?
Point being, Rise of the Tomb Raider's narrative isn't pretentious or convoluted like that of Sam Bridges, or bland like the other Bridge game. The plot is easily accessible, like a Jason Statham movie or Joe Biden's Border. Lara's development from the first game to the second is competently conveyed, transforming from Miss Nobody to Miss Get Body in 12 months' time. Here, Lara is seasoned, decisive, and deadly. A transformation that is reflected in her speech and presence. She's buxom Batman, or John Rambo, but with facial freedom. Constantine sustains the trilogy's trusty tradition of authoritarian, darkly dressed, belligerent, blonde, deity-adoring, weathered white dudes possessing a paramilitary group. No, I am not stealthily suggesting shoehorn diversity, just saying Matthias and Constantine, literally the same guy. Rise of the Tomb Raider offers 5 difficulty settings, which are, upon selection, attended by detailed explanations of how they differ. I played on Tomb Raider, or Medium, or Too Old to Enjoy Snow. This option provides a satisfactory balance of difficulty for those of us ancient enough to remember when Nickelodeon's bread and butter wasn't just SpongeBob.
I'm ruined. I have nothing left except
SpongeBob. This game's controls are extremely intuitive. Crystal Dynamics basically made every button behave exactly as it has in every third-person shooter ever. This assists with maximizing the game's approachability and reducing friction. Jump is the button you think it is. Aim and fire are the buttons you'd assume them to be, so on and so forth. If it ain't broke, don't break it. Platforming is quite forgiving, as jumping toward tiny structures often results in a subtle miracle clean. The dodge, however, doesn't feel great, and in my mind, was more useful in the first game. In Rise, evading bears or wolves is as effective as Donald Trump's spray tan. Cosplaying as a fortune cookie is crazy. Combat is incredibly impactful, and operating as a lone wolf heightens the intensity. Like, Lara's more lonely than Asmongold's loofah.
I'm kind of retarded.
Though I mostly prefer to run and gun, this game makes operating surreptitiously just as fun as saying surreptitiously. On top of suppressing your presence from an outrageously outfitted army, a stealthy playstyle increases XP gain. There's even a perk that will multiply experience points with consecutive covert kills. Incentive and profitable payoff. You love to see it. This game had me rolling more necks than a seasoned chiropractor. Speaking of XP, it, along with other activities, allows the player to earn skill points, which enable upgrades to abilities like combat or crafting. While outfits were purely cosmetic in 2013, here they offer perks as well, like increased ammo capacity or more melee damage. Returning to the franchise is the ability to quick craft equipment. There remains no need to visit a dedicated creation menu or specifically positioned workbench. One produces punishment with just the bump of a button.
And everyone will be able to see me for who I truly am.
And who are you?
Don't you know?
Hassan Piker. I never experienced a sense of ammunition scarcity, which eliminated the need to play too conservatively. This design choice enhances one's overall enjoyment of the game, preventing inventory management from feeling tedious and oppressive. Additionally, the ability to quick craft items using local materials further supports this streamlined and engaging gameplay loop. Rise of the Tomb Raider embraces more RPG elements than the prior title, which manifests in the form of more side missions and more options for buffing Laura's abilities. Completing alternative tasks results in bonuses. These activities are narratively relevant and refrain from being monotonous. Most importantly, they yield valuable benefits, i.e., weapon parts or experience points. With such a robust reward structure, the player is effectively incentivized to obtain additional objectives, which never feel draining or diverting, but instead deepen immersion and make the game feel less linear than the now thrice recycled plot of James Cameron's Avatar. I cannot be the only one who's noticed. Zones are not necessarily massive, but incorporate a strong sense of verticality. You might, for example, burrow into a cave or underground passage that was once obstructed to find yourself in an expansive subterranean space. Moments like these make the world feel authentic and remind the player that the game was meticulously made. Very few areas feel small, yet none seem so large that they become imposing or overwhelming. Some levels feature hidden areas that become accessible only after acquiring specific tools or weapons. Because these areas are gated by progression, they introduce a heightened level of challenge compared to earlier sections. Unclaimed objects signal that there is still more to discover, subtly promoting replayability and sustained engagement. Locations are extremely varied. Some are concealed by snow, some dense and verdant, and some industrial and somber. This environmental diversity isn't just visual, but also shapes how the player engages with the world. Like its predecessor, Rise of the Tomb Raider features puzzles, yet no two ever feel the same. These are not Hellblade 2-tier dummy tests, but instead are consistently stimulating challenges presented as organic components of the environment and narrative. It feels like the world naturally shaped itself, not a team of designers. The same philosophy applies to Laura's tools. Her pickaxe can crack open crates or terminally massage murderers, but ultimately, crafty Miss Croft just carries it to climb. Survival instinct has survived. That is to say, it returns and remains an effective time-saving mechanism, like agreeing with your boss or your wife. Documents still read themselves. Wall Scramble is also back and is still as satisfying as successfully resurrecting Popeye's fries. As one would expect, the visuals are superior to those of the prequel. Lara looks more human than her 2013 counterpart, and universally, facial animations are noticeably improved. Environments and lighting are well rendered, sometimes seeming painterly, and effects like snowfall, wind currents, or disintegrating rocks are convincing. Details on Lara, like water, sweat, or mud, display accordingly. Rise of the Tomb Raider continued to keep me in awe of how attractive it was. The game looks like a tech demo, and it's easy to forget that it came out more than 10 years ago. Movement has been noticeably improved, and elaborate animations make the game feel true to life, like Lara adjusting her hair or running her hand across a wall as she passes. Trampled snow subsides, and wrinkles flock near Laura's nose as she squints. I'd like to commend Crystal Dynamics for scrubbing the boob slider a tad to the left, so that Laura's appendages would refrain from scratching my screen, a phenomenon known as scratch-in. Yes, scratch-in is a thing that I just made up. Though some may blare about a pectoral deficit, I find that the developers graciously filled Laura's back pockets.
That's all I have to say about that.
Trouble haunts Laura like bad press haunts Twitch. Floors and footholds fall from her like they're milk-soaked crackers, and more people die in her presence than exhausted elves. Get it? Die in presence? Because elves are slaves. Just know, this joke could have been much worse.
That's all I have to say about that.
And look, I know Anna's sick, but she looks like her breath smells worse than the back of a baby's ears. Worse than zombie boots or a Reddit mod's perineum. Do yourself a solid, never image search perineum. I played Rise of the Tomb Raider on my PS5. I experienced one crash, which happened right as I was about to die, so I guess thanks, game? One enemy was weapons posing mid-fight, and once, Laura Michelle Quand where she should have Tarzaned. At one point, when the helicopter flew by, black squares appeared on screen. No, it's not a setup for a race joke. Otherwise, the game ran better than, okay, I considered making a race joke there. Rise of the Tomb Raider lacks a lock-on function, which in and of itself is fine. But as often as I found myself whiffing while trying to axe-relax trinities, I wished I could target targets. Let's talk audio. The game sounds good. Next section. Seriously though, the sound effects and music blend seamlessly into the experience, functioning in an effective and intuitive manner that makes them almost unnoticeable. The soundtrack enhances every scene, even though it wasn't so spectacular that I would listen to it outside of the game.
Hey, even if we don't find anything up here, your dad would be proud.
I know, but I have a good feeling about this.
So, we focused on some favorable aspects of the game. Let's talk about what didn't work so well. Some NPCs, like Nadia, don't look too hot. So far, narratively, the Survivor trilogy survives the same story beats, which didn't bother me personally, but might prove problematic to others. Sometimes orientation is an issue. For example, there's points where you walk up to an object, get the prompt to interact, but if you deviate even a Planck length, you're fighting to find the sweet spot again. It's like trying to extract Excalibur or anything from a toddler's grip. Imagine battling Barry Allen, but you're Barbara Gordon. No, not that Barbara Gordon. This Barbara Gordon. Think you're Dud Dodge for that. There's ammo at the center of the stage. You want to just skate past it, grab it, reload, and spray and pray, but you have to Cupid shuffle 3 times before you even get the pickup prompt. Rise of the Tomb Raider delivers a clear and accessible narrative that enhances the experience without becoming intrusive or overbearing. The story strikes a careful balance, engaging enough to remain compelling, yet restrained enough to avoid feeling like a chore. This installment excels at portraying Lara Croft's growth, presenting her as a nuanced and believable protagonist. Much like classic action heroes like John Rambo or John McClane, she is defined with just enough depth to remain relatable, engaging, and narratively effective without unnecessary complexity. The game offers a wide range of difficulty settings and highly intuitive controls, allowing players of varying skill levels to tailor the experience to their preferences. Combat is fluid, cinematic, and consistently engaging, making side missions feel rewarding. Beneath the surface lies a well-constructed network of systems, including RPG mechanics, cosmetic perks, experience progression, and modular upgrades that add meaningful depth without overwhelming the player. Familiar mechanics, such as survival instincts and document narration, return, alongside thoughtful new additions that elevate the franchise as a whole. The world design is meticulous and expansive, creating a sense of authenticity and immersion. Visually, the game remains striking, even years after its release, standing as a testament to its technical craftsmanship. A persistent sense of tension and impending danger keeps the experience engaging, despite a few predictable story beats and archetypal characters. Minor performance hiccups and occasional interaction inconsistencies appear, but they rarely disrupt immersion. Overall, Rise of the Tomb Raider delivers a polished, atmospheric, and deeply engaging experience that continues to resonate long after completion.